Over the last 5 years, we've grown the innovation hubs from 2 to over 100, which is also a measure. There's the appetite, there's the enthusiasm. We have a number of innovations that are coming from universities, from research centers, and even government institutions. Our definition of innovation is change that adds value. So for as long as people are working on solutions that are problem-based and creating new value in the process, that's innovation. So what I would say in a nutshell is that there's a lot of enthusiasm and energy and evidence of outputs. But I think what has been lacking is more effective coordination, which is what we want to do.
The Kenya National Innovation Agency has come up with the Kenya National Innovation Week to encourage those with those ideas and capabilities to come and exhibit and demonstrate the knowledge and skills they have in the aspect of research and innovation, so that we contribute to economic development of our country through commercialization of innovations. And innovation is not something completely new, but it's a bit of tweaking of what is existing to make it better, make it more viable, more attractive, and more convenient to use. And that's what we want to put in place. There are very many students who study science and technology, engineering, and so on related subjects, but they didn't have this opportunity to exhibit their capacity. Again, we are coming up with a motivation policy where we can have reward for those who come up with innovations. We create an innovation data bank so that we recognize those who contribute to innovation and those who actually end up commercializing innovation, so that they assist in the socio-economic development of our nation.
The kind of audience we were able to attract is quite diverse for various reasons. Majorly, one of the key issues we wanted to do is showcase the innovativeness of Kenyans. We had startups who are maybe at early stage and are looking for maybe partnerships, they're looking for investment to go to the next step. We had researchers who are looking for partnerships on how to take their research from ideas and research to the market. So we are supporting commercialization. We had techies who are here to link up with customers, who are here to provide solutions to people who are working in different industries. All right. We also had a very interesting pool of audience, which incorporated people from the development partners, development agencies, the likes of the GIZs, the likes of the UK Tech Hub, and so many others who are here to ensure that they catalyze, they support innovation in the country because they have footprints across the globe. So that is just an overview of what the audience was like. We also had a very diverse audience of investors ranging from VCs, that is venture capitalists, we had angel networks around, we had financial institutions around who are here to tap into the resources in innovations and innovators and startups who are showcasing for different reasons. So we also had people from academia who are here to learn about how to establish things like technology transfer offices, how to establish things like business models within the universities. I mean, we've been relying too much on the exchequer. The universities have lots of research in their shelves. So some of them were here to ensure that they get the right basics, which they will use for advancement when it comes to commercializing of the research.
What we're going to do is we're going to spend the next 1.5 months to prepare a very professional report that I want to go to all donors, all governors, all cabinet secretaries, all PSs, and all vice chancellors. Once we do that, at the end of February, we're going to assemble the key opinion shapers into a forum, breakfast meeting, and we're going to be announcing the key action points over the next 6 months before we regroup. And we're going to spread all these action points to different people, because remember, this is not an event, it's a movement. And when you say it's a movement, it means we only use it to celebrate, all right? Then the work begins. And when we use another end of a year to celebrate and spin another momentum. And then if we build momentum like that over the next several years, I think we're going to change the country.
We need to put in resources, and that's why we are looking for partners who come in as sponsors, those who are volunteers and they have resources, and we want to do the public-private partnership, where companies, where industries come in to identify people with potential who will add value to the organizations, to their industries, and so on, among the innovators who come in this event. And so we need to do sensitization of the public We need to do publicity in our institutions so that as many participants as possible can come up. And we shall begin early. The end of this exhibition week is the beginning of work where we now tell them the theme for next year. We tell them what we expect of them. We have 76 universities. Those that participated today are less than half. So we hope that all of them will be on board next year. We expect all TVET institutions, technical colleges to be in participation. We expect all lecturers who call themselves scientists, who are also engineers and who are in the field of technology, to come up with the students who can exhibit something, so that they practically demonstrate knowledge and skills that they've acquired over time.
Welcome to the Kenya Innovation Week 2021. It's been a year of trying to put this idea together among others that we are working on, and it's so great to see that we are all connecting together here as we celebrate the efforts on innovation. So the National Innovation Agency was set up by an act of parliament, so it's a semi-autonomous institution with a mission to develop and manage a dynamic national innovation system that facilitates taking ideas to market. Our measure of success is how many ideas are we able to get to market and of what quality. And therefore, really, it's about enabling socio-economic development through innovation. In the context of commercialization, we're aiming over the next several years, 5 to be precise, to support commercialization of 1,000+ ideas that are coming from students, innovators, institutions, and so on and so forth. In the context of startups, we've also set a target that over the next 5 years, we're looking to support 10,000 idea stage startups. We're looking to strengthen 1,000 growth stage startups, and we're looking to support 100 high impact startups.
This agency has been a startup for the last 5 years. And it's now that we feel that we are basically probably starting to take off. And I'm really happy that we're having this conference, this Innovation Week, this week, because it's one of our mandates in terms of dissemination of what we are doing, where we are going, in terms of actually developing and managing the innovation ecosystem for the nation.
I am very happy that Germany is very strongly associated and affiliated with this Kenya Innovation Week, which I hear is an innovation in itself because it happens for the first time. This inaugural Kenya Innovation Week provides an opportunity for us to plug into your vision of enabling innovation for socio-economic development. The German government is most keen to contribute to your broad approach of defining innovation as change that adds value. We believe that innovation, which often comes hand in hand with digital transformation, offers significant opportunities for Kenya to leapfrog development and create decent jobs for youth.
An innovation culture catalyzes economic transformation. So when you think about innovation, you're thinking about new products, new services, and as a result, you get new markets. Once you get these new markets, new wealth is created, and ultimately higher earnings for the economy, which therefore results in a healthy economy. Startups add jobs at a rate of 25% annually. So these are some statistics from Crunchbase. They are major drivers of wealth creation. About USD 288 billion has been invested in startups worldwide, just looking at H1 2021. They create new markets, new livelihoods, develop and organize sectors.
Innovation is a driver of economic development. Much innovation takes place at small and medium-sized enterprises. In Kenya, SMEs contribute to over 30% of the country's GDP and account for over 80% of the new jobs in the country. Innovation is critical for delivering sustained and scalable solutions to the complex development challenges we face today.
Estonia is going beyond experimenting with new policy ideas or government think tanks, having created an entire political culture centered on innovation, highlighted by the e-Estonia model. Estonia has branded itself as an innovation hub. We are looking for more and mutually meaningful and impactful engagements between the two countries.
I would like here to renew UNICEF's commitment to supporting the government of Kenya, but also working with the Kenya National Innovation Agency in enhancing this innovation ecosystem in the country by taking a more holistic view of nurturing it at early age, but also identify entry points to use transformative ideas and make an impact on the lives of children and young people.
Kenya has experienced tremendous growth in the last decade, supported by the improvement of key development indicators such as an increasing number of innovation tech hubs across the country, standing currently at 48 according to a GSMA 2019 report, which ranked Kenya fourth in Africa with a total of 618 tech hubs, with 48 being here in Kenya. But also Kenya has invested greatly in increased broadband connectivity, its increased funding and investments, but also by government and development partners and the private sector towards decentralizing innovation in the country.
The Kenya Innovation Week offers us, as WFP, a unique opportunity to connect and further with the Kenyan innovation community. We hope to learn a lot from all of you brilliant innovators and to identify opportunities to collaborate and to take advantage of your best ideas, particularly those that improve food systems.
The innovation system has evolved rapidly in the recent past with the establishment and development of innovation hubs and incubation centers. Innovation hubs have contributed to the creation and growth of innovation-based companies through incubation and spin-off processes.
Whatever it is that we want to innovate, we want to build on, it must be something that improves lives, must be something that gives us peace and allows us to move the country forward. We should have a forum, a continuous forum, where anybody that has capital and wants to invest in this country and in the startups can actually be able to see from an innovations database what innovations are there, which sector, and then be able to engage with the innovators so that they can be able to invest.
How do we invest in the foundations of the fourth industrial revolution? So from data, you cannot talk about AI, machine learning without good data. From internet infrastructure, how do you ensure that agile governance, that policy making does not come or stifle innovation? How do you ensure that we have sustainable financing or financing that thinks differently?
When you train in the tourism sector, often we hear the expectation to become a hotel manager afterwards. That is not the reality. And how can we just match the reality is through guest lectures from the private sector in the training institutions, field visit, entrepreneurship field days in the industry.
How do we ensure there's skill and knowledge transfer within communities that are rural? You know, it's really easy to find people who have similar interests in cities. But how can we talk to communities in rural areas that have even indigenous knowledge that we don't really tap into, especially in this continent? We don't really tap into those skills and those knowledge to inform the types of solutions that we come up with, the types of skills that we empower the younger generation in.
One of the things that we teach entrepreneurs in product development is being customer-centric and putting your customer in the center of your product. And as you develop your product, you need to keep going back to the customer and showing them the products you're developing and getting their feedback. And the only feedback that matters from the customer is when they buy your product. You know, as long as they're just giving you verbal feedback, it's neither here nor there. But the day they start buying your product and they buy it in huge numbers, then you know you actually have a product that is is useful.
Even having an incubation center that is operating and managing innovations, it's coordinating innovations from that level. So I would say we've been having these efforts taking place at the lower level through the existing incubation centers and universities having the incubation centers, acceleration programs run through these centers. All that is an effort to coordinate innovation. But then now, from a national perspective, we are putting in efforts. We have guidelines being prepared. I would say we are working in collaboration with organizations to come up with national guidelines that will guide with regards to innovation in incubation centers. Again, we are coming up with a policy. It's a process, of course, but that is something that is coming up.
For children, it's about the system you've set up. If you have a way of engaging them and creating an environment that you can tell them actually what you do. If you're in business, let them know that I do this in a language that is easy to understand. So for me, I would say that it's not just about the age, as much as you can't really tell a lot about business for a 2-year-old, but it's about how well have you exposed yourself to your children.
A lot of edutech platforms are coming up. And what does this say? How is this impacting the future of universities? What do we need to be looking at? Who do we need to be able to take advantage of this space?
So education for employability would therefore mean that you are competing for the few jobs that there are. Okay. The challenge is not necessarily just employability. It's the ability to use the education to expand the economy so that the economy is more productive, so that then there can be more jobs. We are of the view that the basic purpose of a university is to empower people in order to develop their own economic models to self-actualize. Okay. So that is what we see as the main challenge of the university going forward.
Kenya Innovation Week has given me and my team an opportunity to showcase our work to different investors, to connect with different innovators, and just the diversity of the cadre of people in this audience. It has been really, really meaningful, especially making the meaningful relationships that have been fostered from this Innovation Week that we look forward to capitalize on and see what it might arise to.
One of the main advantages is now access to specialists. We also get access to, just by virtue of participating and the people who you meet, you kind of get, you're at an added advantage of knowing what is available out there to help position our company and to help push it to the next level.
We came with a project called the Smart Blocks Medical Watch that is used to detect your oxygen concentration in your blood and heartbeats per minute. The reason why we came up with this project was because during the corona pandemic, we had congestion in hospitals. Many people were crowding in hospitals to get their medication and others to know their health status. It will tell you your level of oxygen in your blood and the heartbeats per minute. There's no need of you going to a hospital.
One of the things that we are seeing as a trend is that children are able to come up with innovations that can be tested in the market and become an enterprise as early as 13 years. And that is where you are looking at that you're able to mentor these children, you're able to mentor these startups, and they become unicorns.
Startup Kenya is a program that seeks to create a proper coordinated roadmap for startups to thrive in Kenya. We are looking at collaborations and partnerships to be able to move from research to commercialization and to sustainable enterprises.
When I look at Kenya Innovation Week, we're really excited about this event because it's really bringing the spotlight of the startup economy in terms of the Kenyan psyche. So the startup economy is massive. Innovators, startups are actually telling us about the innovations they are bringing, the solutions they are developing, the market they are targeting, the money that they are raising, and all of that is creating jobs, it's creating local value chains, it's bringing in foreign direct investment, and creating export-focused businesses that are the ones that are going to drive this economy literally for the next 10, 50 years.
As a continent, we have many challenges.
But such events such as Kenya Innovation Week is a glimpse of hope and a step in the right direction.
This has been a really successful inaugural event, I must say.
There are lots of cities all around the world of similar size, similar capability, similar innovation to Kisumu. So we see the ability, for us at least, of being able to create a facility there that's easily replicated in many cities all around the world. We're excited to be worldwide, and we're excited to grow, but we're excited about where we come from.
Competence-based curriculum is now in place. It's going to be implemented. That's where students learn by doing. And if there will be the correct teacher-student ratio, then the teachers will be able to identify students who are with potential, encourage them, mentor them, motivate them, so that they bring out the best of themselves in innovation. And so I see a lot of potential in future, and I see Kenya moving on to the upper middle income economy, getting more industrialized and having more scientists, more engineers, and more people in the field of technology that will spur economic development for our country.